Hello. Working these days without a remote button, so. When I started this channel, I didn't have a clicker either, so there's something regressive happening. I get the feeling that you may be perhaps afraid of outshining somebody. You know, you may be perhaps playing small because you're dealing with somebody who's insecure and you know, you don't want to add to their insecurity. You don't want to, you're almost afraid to allow yourself to take up space. Queen of Swords. Well, I don't think that's going to last for very long. I think you're coming into your own and the truth about who you are. You may be delivering some cold, hard truth to somebody who is insecure. Ten of Pentacles. I think you have a feeling of belonging. You know, that if they're insecure, you're very secure. You're Ten of Pentacles. You know, you feel at home in yourself. This can be a card of home. You feel at home in yourself. You know your own worth. High Priestess. You know, you've got mystical capabilities. You can read energies that are going on beneath the surface. You can see things that other people can't. You can hear things that, you know, messages or that other people don't hear. And you may be getting ready to claim that power. I think you can't, you know, you're going to reveal yourself somehow. King of Swords. Well, there's a match on the board. I think you may be going to set somebody straight. Somebody who thinks they're super smart. And they don't want you to outshine them. They somehow feel in competition with you. This is soulmate. Somebody you've been loved a long time and they've loved you, but they may feel in competition with you for some reason now. Eight of Wands. You may have a conversation about this. I don't know, there's something kind of regressive about it because this is a card of nostalgia and this is more going forward. They may see you as somehow outstripping them. You know, this is somebody who thinks they're the smartest person in the room. They're smart, but I don't think they're the smartest person in the room. This is Three of Wands, card of the future. There may be a conversation in the future that addresses this whole issue. You know, what does the future hold for us? Ace of Cups. There's an opportunity for love here, certainly, and perhaps for a refresh of some long-standing relationship that may have a tinge of, you know, kind of a deja vu feeling. Somebody's circling back around. Perhaps to pick up the thread of some earlier conversation. Queen of Cups. I think you are tender-hearted toward this person. But you're a straight shooter, and for some reason they're intimidated by you. Two of Swords. They're undecided about something. Perhaps like, what does the future hold for us? Now that I've come back around? Is it this? Is it this? Four of Pentacles. They may be stubbornly clinging to, they may want the relationship not to have changed much. You know, there's some kind of security and let's do it the way we did it before. I want the future to be a repeat somehow of the past. Is it this? Death card. Card of Scorpio. Emotional transformation. I don't think it's going to be a repeat of the past. You know, they may in some way be clinging to the past. Wanting to stick with the way it was. But I think there's an opportunity for something new here. New kind of love. I think there's going to be a conversation about it. You know, can we make this new? You know, you're advocating, we don't want to just have it on a cycle, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. We have here the Six of Pentacles. Well, that could be I mean, it's a card of exchange. It's a card of nurturing. But it could be something like they're feeling insecure. They want you to nurture them. Maybe to even mother them. Make them feel safe. Because they don't feel safe right now. Four of Pentacles. They're like in duck and cover mode. Ten of Wands. It's an end of a cycle. You know, if you've been kind of feeding them and nurturing them, or in some way they've been feeding off your energy, that's done. End of the cycle. Some kind of transformative there's a metamorphosis at hand, and they're worried about that. They want things to stay the same. Because Death card is a card of change. You know, it's a direct result. I mean, this is stagnation. And I think that somehow you're saying, you know, I can't provide the nourishment for, you know, if you feel like a child that I'm supposed to, you can feed off me or something like that. And you're all about wanting to make love new. I mean, you're behind the emotional transformation. Let's make it new. This, I believe, is Eight of Pentacles. I think you've done the work. And I think maybe they've been stubbornly holding back. They may have wanted you to do the work for them. It's a real tug-of-war energy here. Like you're not on the same page. You have a newfound sense of belonging. You know, and not, you know, just in this relationship, like you have a bigger, more expansive sense of belonging, and they're insecure. Star. That sense of belonging, I think, again, because Star card, it's a card of Aquarius, which can speak to the collective, and this does as well. I think they're insecure. You have a sense of belonging. You know you belong to a collective, and they're in resistance to that. I want to stick with what I have. I don't know if this is making sense. It seems a bit dodgy to me, but Justice. Also in air energy, like the Star card, it's a card of Libra. It's a balanced relationship. But I think they've been taking more than their share. You've been taking more than their share, than their fair share. There may have been some kind of I'm right, no, I'm right argument. Queen of Swords, King of Swords. You know, you guys might be moving towards some kind of consensus. Where you end up on the same page. By virtue of this conversation that may happen in the future. You may be laying the groundwork for some kind of honest conversation that will happen in the future. An opportunity to refresh this relationship. You know your own mind, Queen of Swords, and you know your own heart. It's some kind of mind-heart balance that you've achieved. You know, you're not an overthinker. This person thinks they're the smartest person in the room. Three of Cups. Yeah, you might be coming back into balance with this person. There might be a kind of acknowledgement of friendship and inclusion, self-love, Ace of Cups, love of the other person in equal measure. Something very healing will happen. You know, there's a kind of release of joy, maybe of relief, once this conversation has been had. There may be a guidance on the part of spirit to talk to this person, to talk it out, to be honest and open-hearted. And I think they've had trouble with that before. They've wanted you to take care of them. Maybe they're afraid to admit that. And you do care for them. Queen of Cups. I don't know why they're intimidated by you. I just get that feeling pretty strongly. Okay, on the board we have Aquarius in the Star card, a card of healing. Libra in Justice, card of balance. We have Death card, emotional transformation. I think that's it for Major Arcana. You know, I don't think they'll be able to feed off your energy anymore. Nevertheless, I think that this may be headed in the right direction. In the future, you can manifest some kind of happiness or reunion, or things will come back into balance. They won't feel so needy. Four of Coins, you know, stubborn and afraid to allow growth. I think they're afraid somehow you'll grow apart. So they're being stubborn. They want it to stay the same. That's and you know, we could boil it down to that. I don't think you're gonna. I think this relationship will evolve. We're kind of wither on the vine. I have to stand up now and turn this off. I love you guys. Yeah, I've been really under the weather, so I apologize if my energy seems low. I'm on the mend. Okay. Later.